Good evening, dear Magister. I'm Silvia Waman, and I am going to talk about the principles of language assessment. Assessment terminology. The aim is to guide educators in designing authentic assessments that enhance learning rather than serves as punitive measures. Assessment is a broad, ongoing process that evaluates students' development through observation, questioning, and analysis of student performance. For example, observing a student discussing a topic in pairs helps assess their speaking skills. Now we have testings. It's a specific type of structure designing with clear methods to measure specific skills such as reading, writing, listening, or grammar. For example, a vocabulary quiz evaluates how well students understand specific words. Measurement is referred as the process to quantify individuals' achievement. It is relevant to understand two terms, quantitative and qualitative descriptions. Now we have evaluation. Is something confused with testing, but they are not the same. They have different connotation and uses. For example, if the result of a student's test is 70% on a final examination, this number might represent that the students passed or failed a language course. It is evaluation. Formal and informal assessment. And the formal assessment is defined that objective and structured, such as tests or questionnaires with clear criteria and aligned to standards. For example, a standardized test with multiple choice questions measures students' reading comprehension. And we have the informal assessment, that is spontaneous and on-grade, focus on identifying challenges and motivating with constructive feedback. For example, observation or discussions. Okay, now we have the summative and formative assessment. The formative assessment monitors the progress during learning to adjust strategies. For example, weekly quizzes help teachers identify learning gaps during the course, and the summative assessment evaluate achievement to at the end of a period, such as a unit or course. For example, a final exam evaluates the student's overall performance at the end of a semester. Types and purpose of assessment. Depending on the purpose of the assessment and evaluation instrument, educators and administrators design tests. For example, the test to measure proficiency, test to place students on the right level in a course, test to diagnose the level of proficiency. Now we have the achievement test. It measures acquired skills at the end of a lesson or program. And we have the diagnostic test that identify initial skills to design a course. Now we have the placement test that determine the appropriate level of a student in a program. And we have the proficiency test assess general competence such as a TOEFL. And we have the aptitude test that predict the ability to learn a language. Okay, now we have the principles of language assessment. The practicality is easy of administration in terms of time and resources. The reliability, consistency in the results under the same conditions, and the validity, that it evaluates what it really intends to measure. Now we have the authenticity, that is relation to real life situations, and washback effect, that is the positive influence of tests on teaching and learning. Thank you.